I want you to pay attention to the following thing I'm going to say because it's extremely important because it's a mindset shift. Often, I am asked to motivate people. And what people are looking for when they want motivation is they're looking for a fire inside of them that makes them want to do hard things. Or the grit and determination to push through a wall which previously they saw as insurmountable. And the reason they need motivation to do this is because they think hard is bad. They think this is hard and I need to be pushed to do this to save my bloodline, to avoid eternal slavery, to make money, whatever it is. This is hard and I need somebody to encourage me to do whatever it takes to get through it. Because you view hard in the negative. Truthfully, it is the hard things in life that are the best things in life. It's amazing how God has linked difficulty and value. There is nothing in life which is valuable, which is not hard to obtain and hard to keep. Not a single thing. That's why it has value in the first place. If gold was everywhere, nobody would care about gold. People want gold because it is hard to find. That's the whole point of it. Difficulty, value are inextricably linked. So when you see something as hard, you see something as valuable, and you have to train your mind to be excited by hard things, to feel energized by the challenge, to feel self-motivated, not externally. You're self-motivated by the chance to prove to God you deserve this hard thing. And the most beautiful thing about difficult things is that it deters a large contingent of the populace because most people are not ready for hard. When they see hard, they quit. When they see hard, they make excuses for why they don't want it anymore. They cope. When most people see hard, they shy away from it, which is extremely important because you only want the things you want because other people can't have them. You want that girl because other people haven't had her. If everyone's had her, you don't want her. You want that car because other people can't buy it. You want to do what other people can't do. This has been the basis of masculinity since the dawn of human time. The Egyptians built the pyramid because it was hard, so that when people saw it, they knew it was hard to do because others couldn't do it. Men wanted to be the first people to sail the 7 seas and risk their lives, to cross Antarctica and risk freezing to death, to be the first person to do it so that everybody would say, wow, I bet that was hard. So people used to wake up and think of hard things they could possibly do. They'd wake up with a very fine and normal life, just like you are. You wake up, you have a bed, you have food, you're not freezing to death, you probably have a woman who texts you back, your life's fine, right? Some men are okay with that. Some men think, what is something hard I can do from here? In days of old, they would say, here's this unexplored land. That looks hard to get to. Let me take the risk so that my name is remembered. You should feel fantastic when you're given a challenge. When hard is put in front of you, you should say, finally, God, finally you've given me something difficult. My life has been too easy for too long. I'm too capable to live such a meager existence and simply survive. If you don't solve today's problems, you will not earn the blessings of tomorrow's problems. Now, this is something that you're sitting here thinking, well, I don't want problems tomorrow. Let me explain to you as a man, problems never go away. Life is a never-ending series of tests and battles. It is a long, if you are lucky, 80-year war, and there is battle to win every single day. If you manage to reach a stage of prosperity in which there is peace and serenity surrounding you, the best thing you can do is prepare for the future battle because you can be certain, as sure as you are that the sun will rise, that a battle will come. You think if I just get this much money, my problems will be gone. If I just get my girlfriend to stop arguing with me, my problems will be gone. If I just fix this one issue, my problems will be gone. It doesn't work that way. Tomorrow's problems are guaranteed. But if you do not fix today's problems, you do not earn tomorrow's problem. Every day is a problem. I have the problem of a beautiful woman who complains about dumb shit. Now I get to enjoy that problem. Lucky me, because I'm the man that she wants. If I didn't go through yesterday's problems of winning fights and getting rich and becoming important, I would not have the problems today of arguing with her. That is how life works as a man. There is no way out of it. So unless you solve today's problems, you do not get tomorrow's problems, because problems in and of themselves are a blessing. There is nothing worse than living in the eternal still, the ether of insignificance, where you have no problems, Nothing is really wrong. Nothing is really right. The bus always turns up. You always get to go to Starbucks. Your wages always turn up after you make the coffees. You go home. You don't have the problems, but you also do not have any innate chance. You don't have any tangible excitement in your life. Nothing is going to change. It is stagnation, which is destructive for the male soul. It's perhaps the most destructive thing. You need problems today so you're blessed with problems tomorrow, because you don't want that life. You want to not live in a zoo. There's a reason why animals die when they live in a zoo, because they have no problems. The food turns up, no predators, no enemies. They don't have to run away from the deforestation or the poachers. They just sit, lay around, wait to be fed, but they don't live as long as they do in the wild, because it is the problems that keep their soul alive. It is the problems, the fact they must hunt, the fact they must avoid their predators and enemies, the fact they have to avoid being poached. They have to change territory when the new alpha male moves in. They have to find somebody to mate with. They're not given somebody to mate with like they are in the zoo. They have to find something to mate with. That is what keeps the masculine spirit alive. That is what's so important. So you must change your attitude towards problems and see them as a blessing. But if you do not get to enjoy today's problems and solve them, you're going to have no problems tomorrow. And I guarantee you that life you dream of with no problems doesn't exist, because if you ever do find that life, it is torturous. And a man, if you're a full-grown adult, should only ever ask for a fair shot. If I were to say to you, you can make $10 million if you dig a hole deeper than your competitor across the next 12 hours, you shouldn't be asking me for a special shovel. You shouldn't be asking me to cheat. You should say, is it going to be fair? If he doesn't cheat and I don't cheat, I can beat him by sheer will. Because in a fair competition, quite often it is sheer will. It's the capability and ability to endlessly try which will be the deciding factor. All you need to do is believe in yourself, believe in your capabilities, believe in your dedication, and you will win. I am happy when I look at a fair battlefield, because I know I'm going to win more than I've ever won. You know, when I was poor, they used to say, if you're rich, you can avoid taxes. And I used to hear people say, that's not fair, the rich should pay their taxes. And I thought, that is a loser's mentality. Do you know what I thought? I thought, good, so I'll get rich and I won't have to pay the same taxes. I just set myself up to win. I was like, fine, if that's how it works, then I'll win the game. All we've ever wanted is a fair shot. If you're a man at home watching this, you've only ever wanted a fair shot, nothing more, nothing less. And that is what you're going to be given. You're not going to be given an instant victory. In fact, the game has just begun. Nothing has ended, it has just started, and it is your chance to prove you deserve the success and prosperity you've been dreaming of. As a man, all you should ever be asking for is a fair shot. You shouldn't be asking for anything else. You should sit and say, I believe in my competence to the point where all I need is a fair chance. It's a world of men. You give me a fair chance and I can do it. Give me a coin flip. I don't want anything more. I don't want anything less. The best the universe will ever give you is that fair chance. And if you're good enough as a man, and if you're prepared for it, then you can win. It's not a guaranteed victory. It's not free money. It's not the end of anything. It's the beginning of a fair game for the first time in a long time. Instead of it being rigged against you, it is now fair. And as a man, that should be all you have ever asked for. You don't want to cheat. You want a fair game. So we're now entering a period where it is finally fair again. And the problem with fair, because there is a problem, there's no light without dark, is that fair games are brutal meritocracies in which those who have prepared, those who work the hardest, those who are better than the others, are going to ruthlessly excel. What's happened is we have re-leveled the playing field. The game is once again fair, and it is there to be played and to be won. That is the situation we are in. Nothing has ended. Nothing has finished. It has only just begun. And I do not want to see complacency from all of you men at home who believe that somehow everything is finished and fine and the war is won. In fact, you should feel motivated and inspired to work harder now than ever before, because the game is now fair. The game will feel easy for the motivated. It's going to feel easier than ever before for those of you at home who are genuinely prepared to get rich. So what I'm saying is the game's going to become easier. It is. Because we're no longer playing a rigged game that's against us. We're now playing a fair game. But if you're not going to play, if you're not going to make moves, you're still going to be crushed. It is impossible for you to fail. You must simply take action and you will win. Winning is guaranteed. If I had to say that to you, 2025 would be the year in which I say it. This is the year where it is impossible to fail if you dedicate yourself, because for once the game is no longer rigged against you. For the first time in most of your adulthoods, a lot of you are younger than me, you weren't alive in 2016. You weren't around, you weren't cognizant, you weren't earning money, your brain wasn't working. This is the first chance ever from January where the game will not be rigged against you, and you will see you've been playing on hard mode for so long that it's actually brutally easy. The problem is, and those of you who do not work will suffer worse than ever before. You do not deserve that which you do not appreciate. If you appreciate this level battlefield, this fair game in which you can make as much money as possible without being held back, without reins and constraints, it's easy mode. You know, when you're the best of the best, you have to perform on your worst day. If you're a sprinter or a professional fighter, you're due to have a race or a fight on the 15th of July, 2025, and the day rolls around and you have a cold. You're not allowed to lose because you have a cold, because nobody cares. They're not going to say he lost because they have a cold. They're going to say he lost. You have to be better than your enemy on your worst day, and they may be having their best day. This is the reality of life as a man. Now, you do not deserve what you don't appreciate. You need to appreciate this level battlefield, because the level battlefield is actually easy mode. You're never going to have an easier mode than a fair game as a full-grown man. Fair game's the best you can possibly hope for. The universe does not want to give you things. Nobody feels sorry for you. Nobody cares about you. The best you can hope for is a fair shot. And a fair shot to me is easy mode, because I am the guy who's been out competing his opponents with a cold. I've been the guy who's been winning on hard mode. Here I am. I win when I'm outgunned, outnumbered. I win when the game is rigged against me. I'm the kind of guy you drop off in the middle of Antarctica, naked in the snow, expecting him to freeze to death. And then you come home to your little girlfriend and find her in bed with me. That's how I am, who I am. Nobody knows how I got off Antarctica. I just did it. I'm a winner. So a level fair game, a fair battlefield, is easy mode. You're waiting for easy mode. You're waiting for the game to change so that you have the winds in your sails. That's not how it's ever going to be as a man. It's going to be the opposite. The best you can hope for is a calm sea with no wind, and you can row with your muscle, with physical power against the waves. The wind is no longer against you, but it's never going to turn and be in your sails. Easy mode is fair. That's the best you're ever going to hope for. So if I say you do not deserve that which you do not appreciate, if you do not appreciate a fair game, if you do not appreciate a fair shot, if you do not give your absolute best for these next few years, now that it's as fair as it's ever going to be, you don't appreciate the chance you've been given. And if you don't appreciate it, you don't deserve it. And you know what? It's kind of funny how the universe works, because if you don't try during these years due to a lack of appreciation, you don't deserve these good times. And if you don't level up as a man, increase your physical capabilities, increase your financial and mental fortitudes, if you do not appreciate this time, you do not deserve this time, and this time will be snatched from you due to your own failures. It's amazing how things work. That's why it's so important you understand. The best thing you can do for society, for your bloodline, for yourself, for humanity, is for you to appreciate this chance and do your absolute best. If you appreciate this chance, you will use it. A fair shot is the best you're ever going to get as a man. You hope for a calm sea so that you can use muscles, rowing power, and through sheer exhaustion, you can outcompete the waves of the ocean itself. If you do not appreciate this chance, you will waste it, meaning you do not deserve it, and it will be snatched from you because you will not have the masculine agency or capability to preserve the good times against the zombie horde. They are regrouping. Your enemy is preparing and rearming. They are reloading their weapons. If you do not appreciate what you have, you do not deserve it, and the universe will snatch it from you.
You're never accidentally brilliant. If you ask a person in the gym, how'd you get so many muscles? His answer is never, oops. How did you put rockets in space? Oh, I don't know. Oops. It's never an accident.
High intention, sincere effort, and intelligent execution.
You now have a fair playing field. It's extremely important that you use it. Once again, to repeat, the war is not won. The battlefield's now fair. The game's no longer rigged against you. You should be excited. This is why I'm telling you, the battle hasn't ended. The battle has actually just begun. All of the work that you need to do is now more achievable than ever before, but the battle has just begun. And I've been telling you guys, I've been telling you to prepare. I've been telling you need to get money as soon as possible. I've been warning you because second chances like the one we're enjoying right now must be prepared for. Those of you which have been stacking money get to take advantage of this monumental bull run we're all going to enjoy. Those of you who have not been making money, who have not been dedicating yourselves, who have not been trying, are going to have to sit and endure from the sidelines, watching crypto go to the moon while your bags are empty because you did not try, you did not dedicate yourselves, you did not procure finance, and you deserve the sting of regret. You deserve the punishment for your incompetence and your lackluster behaviors. If you understand a fair playing field is the best thing you're ever going to get, if you understand it is now or never, if you understand this is the best chance you've ever had in history, if you understand the battle is not over, in fact, it's only just beginning. If you understand how much work you need to do, if you understand the monumental opportunities which are ahead of you, you just have to be dedicated and put some time in for once in your life. If you understand the monumental opportunities are ahead of you, the winners are going to enjoy the best days of their lives, but the losers are going to be suffering eternally and feeling the bitter sting of regret at a level that they had not had for the last 4 years. If you understand all of these things, there is only one sensible action, and the action is for you to make moves. You must be implored to stop sitting still, to stop being passive, to stop being impotent, observing from the sidelines. When you see the Bitcoin price, you should be mad you don't have 100 of them. If you have 100 of them, you should be mad you don't have 200 of them. If you have 500 of them, you should be mad you don't have 1,000. It is the eternal struggle and endless insatiability of man that has built the modern world, and we are returning in which men must constantly try endlessly.
I think what's fun as a man is being the best at anything, right? So my girl will say to me, why do you work all the time? All you do is work. I said, no, because I have to be the richest man on the planet. That's why I want as much money as possible. She goes, you have enough money. I was like, I know, but it's a game. It's a video game. I want a high score.
Where do you find competition now?
Well, I live with guys. I live with my friends, and we make sure that it's constant and endless competition because we live together. So if my brother does 100 push-ups, I have to do 101, which means he'll do 102, and then I'll do 103. And we'll just call each other names all day until thousands of push-ups have been done. So I live in a very masculine environment because masculine competition drives you forward. We all work together. We all work inside of the company, and we're very successful. But yeah, I don't really know what's fun anymore. I just feel like nothing's really fun anymore besides working hard, or you need an activity which is so adrenaline filled that it distracts you, which is why I love driving fast cars and fighting, because it's the only time I'm not thinking about work. Yeah, so I'm happy just to get my work done, and maybe I'm starting to get old after all. I'm 37, I'm getting old. I see my kids, I do my emails, I train hard, maybe go for a drive with the car, maybe get a coffee. That's it. Oh, he doesn't go to the gym because of XYZ, or he feels down. That's fine, but he needs to go to the gym. So we can talk about all the reasons he doesn't go forever. That's a very long, lifelong conversation, but he needs to go. So we've removed the needs, and we've removed the hard facts and the duty and the honor and the commitments, and we've replaced it all with this subjectiveness. And there's nothing more subjective than feelings. How I feel inside on a day I say I'm happy might be the exact same way someone feels inside on the day they say they're sad, because their expectation might be higher for happy because they only think they're happy when they're running around laughing like a child. Whereas I think I'm happy as long as I'm not distraught. I'm happy all the time because I've nothing to cry about. I don't really give a shit how the men I know feel, because they have things they need to do. And as long as they're going to do them like they're supposed to do them, I don't really care that much. And if they were to come to me and say they feel down about something and they had a good reason, I wouldn't be insensitive. That's fine. But we're talking about a death of a family member or something. And we're talking about 1 or 2 days until you just get back to life. You have things to do. Action solves all things. Time solves all things. God solves all things. And to sit around and be obsessed with feelings is highly feminine. I don't like that energy around me. I feel sad. I don't cry. Just get on with life. It's the adult mentality. So I'm not sure. Feelings don't cross my mind. if that makes sense. They don't cross my mind because they don't affect my day. So it doesn't change anything. So I have other things to think about.